Hello everybody and welcome to A Fool's Guide to Tarkov. Now Tarkov can be an unforgiving cesspool of stress, rage and anger. So hopefully today I'm going to teach you some tips and tricks that will keep you interested, stop you stressing out as much and just keep you generally interested in the game. The first thing I want to talk about with Tarkov, and the quicker you understand this, the more enjoyable the game will be, is you are going to die, and you are going to die a lot. Whether that's to scavs, to raiders, to scav raiders, to rogues, to bosses, and other players. You're going to die. It's as simple as that. If you understand that's going to happen, you're going to be fine. The second thing on the list to go through is maps. Understanding your maps. Where you are on the map, where you spawn in, where your extracts are, where your quest items are, general orientation, picking out key points on the map so you know where you are. It helps to understand the map that you're on and where you're going. So for that, there is some tips and tricks I have. So the first thing we're looking at here is the Map Genie website, which as you can see shows you the map of woods we're currently looking at here. And as you can see at the minute, it's just full of little icons and stuff like that, which at the minute won't mean much to you, but you've got this handy little tool down the side of it. You can show all or hide all. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to hide all, so you just see the map as it is, and you can see the sawmill down here, the med camp here, the scav village here, and the sunken village up here. It's quite a detailed map, and it's quite big. So if you want to see your spawn points, for example, we can just click on it, and as you can see here, we've got PMC spawn points dotted all around the map, up near the USEC camp and everything, which is alright. If you understand where you are, you can pinpoint your spawn and things like that. Knowing where you've spawned on the map will come to a bit later when we actually jump into a raid, and you can pick out key points that you can see on the map, which will help you pinpoint where you are on that map at the time. If you want to see where your extractions are, you can click on the extractions on the side here, and you can see here now we've got scav extracts. Just get rid of them spawn points, and you can see all these extractions. Now, as you can see, there's a couple different colours to them. You've got outskirts, which is blue, so all that's scavs and PMCs can extract there. You've got yellow, which is only scavs, and then you've got green, which is only PMCs. We'll come to scavs and PMCs a little bit later on, but these are your extracts. And if you're looking for, let's say, a quest item, as you can see, you've got ticks here where you can find a quest item if you're on that quest. Most of the quest items are only available once you accept that quest and you're on that quest. So, for example, the motor controller, that's only for land lease 1, and the motor controller won't be there until you've accepted that quest. It shows you other maps on here as well. This is customs. As you can see, it's pretty compact and a pretty small map, but again, if we hide all, it hides everything, and you can see where armor spawns, where loot crates are, where hidden caches are. It's a handy little tool. It helps a lot, and anything I'll show you to do with websites and stuff, I will link in the description below. Moving on, the next thing I'd like to talk about in Tarkov is the factions. Currently, there are 2 playable factions in Tarkov. The first being Bear, which is a Russian private military contractor, and the second being USEC, which is a European and American PMC. In terms of how this affects the games, is you have different voice lines, different appearances, different starting gear, which we'll go through shortly, and some of the quests I believe are slightly changed. I've never actually been Bear myself, so I think I'm going to go for Go Bear this time. You start off with more Russian weapons like AKs if you go for Bear, and if you go USEC, you start off with like M4s and MDRs and things like that. So with that being said, shall we move on to how I set up my game. So the first thing when you load up Tarkov is it'll tell you to get ready. It's got a little paragraph telling you basically you're going to die, so just remember, sorry, it's just a game. So I'm going to go with English and we'll set that up. Next thing is choose your nickname for Tarkov. I'm going to go with my name, So here we have the option to choose USEC, and then there's Bear, which is the Russian equivalent of the USEC. I'm going to go Bear for this one because, like I said before, I've never been Bear. So we'll click next. Now you choose your character, so you've got a few faces to choose from. I think I'm going to go with Volkov, and then you've got a few different names.
Here? No way, man.
So they have added English variants.
Это пожрать бы.
I'm going to go with Alex English version, just because I quite like the sound of it. But it's going to load us up now. Once the game is loaded, you're going to be presented a screen like this. The first thing we're going to look at is the settings down in this bottom corner here. First page is your game layout. You can change your name there, your field of view. I always have mine at 75. Head bobbing, I always turn down. Malfunction notifications, you want that on just so you know if you come malfunctions or not. Quick slots, stamina and stance, health condition, these are all on your heads up display. I always have mine all shown just so you know what you've got hotbarred, what your energy's like, things like that. We'll show that in the graphics. These are my graphic settings. I'll put in the description of thing in my actual PC setup, what I'm running and stuff. This is what I've currently got it set at. Never have VSync turned on. The next thing, I don't have post FX on sound. This is my current. I've got my current sound set up. I have turned binaural audio off at the minute because of the leakage that come with this patch. Hopefully they'll fix that soon and then I'll turn it back on. I always have my VoIP enabled as well. VoIP is a brilliant tool. We'll come on to that in a bit later. Your microphone. Controls. Now controls, as you can see, there is a lot of buttons that can be used in Tarkov. Obviously your movement, lean smoothly, lean right and left. By default, I think these are set to continuous. So if you keep hold of E, you're going to lean to your right. If you keep hold of Q, you're going to lean to your left. I like it on release, so if I press it once, I'm leaning. Press it again, I'm back to the beginning, and the same for Q. Fire, left mouse button. Aim, right mouse button. Switch between your sights is Alt and left control and right mouse button. VoIP and disable VoIP. Not sure what it's originally set to. I put it to K, which is normally your VoIP button. I put my push to talk VoIP button on my mouse, just because it's easier to get to in a pinch. Another thing I like to change is the check chamber and fix malfunction button. It's currently set to L and release, and the reason for that is to actually inspect what is wrong with your weapon, you have to press L. So the way I've got it set up is once you press L, leave it a second, take it off, it'll check what the malfunction is and then fix it at the same time, saving that precious time. That's it for my settings. The next thing to look at is the character screen. So from your main menu here, if you click on character, it'll bring you to this screen here. Now, this is your gear, this is your stash. Everything you own goes into this right hand side. See, it's not quite that big at the minute, but you can upgrade it later on. The right hand side and the middle, you have your loadout, which is what you're going to go into a raid with. You've got earpieces, headwear, there can be hats, helmets, face covers, balaclavas, half masks, body armor, glasses, your weapons, that's what you're currently carrying. That'll be what's on your back that you can change to. And you can also carry a pistol with you and a knife. Your rig is what holds your mags. If you don't have a mag in there, you won't reload. You've got various items, which we're going to talk about in a bit. You've got pockets, you've got your bag. Things you stuck pick up will go straight into your bag. And then you've also got this pouch here. Anything in this pouch, just say I put this water and this iskra into this pouch, will stay in there. Even if you die, whatever's in your pouch you won't lose, but it also won't be found in raid. Your stash, as I said before, everything you want is in here. You can upgrade it by using your hideout, which we'll talk about in a bit. You can stack up to 500,000 rubles in a square. Weapons you can drag across, or you can alt and left click, it equips it if there's an available slot. Backpacks you can stack on top of each other providing there's nothing else in them, and you can also put weapons in there. What I just did then was click my middle mouse button in to fold it and unfold it. It's just a quick way of doing it. Saves that as precious space, which you'll understand shortly. Space is everything in your stash. Drag it across. Happy days. Just creates that little bit of extra space. Weapons. You get different styles of weapons, assault rifles, assault carbines, snipers, bolt action snipers, pistols, some machine guns. There's a full range of weapons in this game. It's so in depth. You can see down in this right hand corner, you've got weight system. You can carry up to 62 kilograms. You can actually carry a lot more than that, but you'd really struggle to move. You can't carry that and run fully and regain stamina to begin with. The more you level up your skills, the more it'll go up. This is your health. We're going to look at health in more depth shortly, but you can see you've got 440 hit points, but that is actually split down into individual components, which we'll look at shortly. Your water and energy levels, they are essential. You've got to keep them topped up by drinking your items like water here. You can see this takes 3 seconds to use and gives you plus 60 hydration. So once that drops down to 40, if you drink that, it's going back up to 100. The Ishkaras, there are food items. There's different food items, there's different water items, but as you can see, it takes 5 seconds to use this and it restores plus 80 energy. What I'm doing there to inspect it, by the way, is instead of left clicking, I'm right clicking, and as you can see, it gives you these options: inspect, use all, insure it. You can't insure food and water, but you can insure your gear. We'll look at that when we jump into our first raid. Link search and required search, they actually search the trader systems and the flea market to find stuff that is, like, if you filter it by item, you're filtering for that item. Clicking on links, you're going to look to anything that can be linked to that item, like handguards, stocks, etc. And required search, this mainly brings up barter deals that you can get from traders or on the flea. We'll talk about the flea and trader system shortly. And you can discard it, which is basically deleted out your inventory. There's also fuel. You can use this in your hideout to keep your fuel up and running. Bandages, these are for health. We'll talk about them later. Headsets, we talked about. If you go into a raid without a headset and you find a headset and put it on, the sound quality difference is amazing. I always recommend going in with a headset and a helmet if you can. Armor, if we have a look at this packer here and inspect it, you can see it's got armor points 50. It's an armor class of 2. The higher that number, the more resistance it has to bullets. We'll talk about the bullets and what they can do and the different calibers and different ratings of bullets shortly. But armor class 2 isn't the best armor, but it's good enough to begin with. You can see if you have a look at in this bottom corner where it says armor areas, have a look at that. It protects your thorax and your stomach. We'll look at them in a minute when we look at the health. It's a light armor type. Not the best, but they'll do. The armor and the bullets and stuff, they all interlink. It can get quite complicated, and I'll probably do another video of that on shortly, but I don't want to bog you down with all the details. Ammo, don't really get much information on the ammo. You got the bullet velocity, its caliber. Every weapon has a different caliber. Different weapon ranges have different calibers. Assault rifles have a few. Some machine guns have 9 by 19, 9 by 18. And have a look at this BP here. This is 545 by 39, which is mainly used by assault rifles. Getting to know what ammo is best for the caliber of weapon you're using. Not really much way to tell actually in game what's better. So what I tend to do is use this little website I'm going to drag across now, called eftammo.com, and as you can see, it breaks it down into these nice little charts by the caliber. This is your 12 gauge buckshot. As you can see, it lists the damage, the penetration value, fragmentation percentage, the recoil if it gives you extra recoil, the effective distance and max headshot distance, and the speed meters per second. It also tells you how effective ammo is against certain weapon certain classes. 0 being useless, 6 being great against it. So as you can see, these 4 top buckshots, mediocre against all classes of armor, whereas the flechettes, it's great against pretty much all of them, but it's best against class 1, 2 and 3. Scroll down, you can see it breaks it down quite well. You got your 19 by 18, lots of ammo in that range. As you can see, once you get to starts getting good against class 1 around PE, whereas the best one in class is great against class 1, and then starts dropping off as you get to class 3. It is a very useful little website, and as I've said before, I will anything I show you here I will link in the description below. Moving on, the next thing I'd like to talk to you about is health. and how the health system works. So while we're still on this character screen, you can see it across the top here, you've got these extra little tabs. So what we're going to do is going to click on health. And as you can see now, your actual weapon loadout has changed now to a breakdown of your body, basically. So as I said before, your health, you've got a total of 440 hit points, but it's broken down into left leg, right arm, stomach, left arm, thorax, and head. You add them up, you get your 440. So you can actually lose a limb while in battle. So if you get your leg shot out, that'll go black. You've got no leg, you can't run. You can take painkillers, which are these here. It takes 3 seconds to use. You've got 4 uses of it, and it removes pain for 80 seconds. So you can run for that 80 seconds. You do still take a slight bit of damage when you're running. They also have negative effects. It'll decrease your hydration by 19 immediately as soon as you've taken one. But side effects against what it actually does for you is great. There's other painkillers like Vaseline. That removes 9 hydration and 9 energy, but removes pain for up to 300 seconds. If you lose a leg, like I said, you can't run. You lose an arm, your aim gets a bit wavy. You lose your stomach gets shut out. Your hydration and energy starts decreasing a lot faster. If you lose your thorax or head, you die unless it's from a heavy bleed. So when you're being shot at, you can get bleeds. If it's a heavy bleed, you can use these things called an S-March. There is other versions of them, and as we find them, we'll talk about them. Bandages stop light bleeds. You can also get fractures, which a splint would remove the fracture, which is, if it's on a leg or an arm, to be honest, it's like you've lost it, but you still heal it. It's just you're in pain. Health can be restored using first aid kits. This also has an added ability of stopping a light bleed for 50 hit points on your source, but you can heal up to 220 hit points using the car med kit. The AI2s, or cheese slices, only heal HP up to 100. You can heal each individual part of your body individually. There's also, we don't seem to have any with this starting kit, things called CMS kits and SIR 12 kits, which you can actually repair your blacked out arm, leg, stomach, etc. You can perform surgery on yourself in the actual game. In terms of health, there's not much else I could talk to you about that. As we find other things as we're going through the whole series, we'll talk about them as we find them. Another thing to quickly mention here is your skills. So as you're playing the game, moving along, leveling up, doing certain things, you level up a series of skills. As you see, there's quite a few. Endurance and strength, they're inherently linked. As you're running about, your strength goes up, and so does your endurance. Your health goes up as you're going on. Metabolism, that's leveled up by eating and drinking food, or running out of food and water and surviving for as long as you can. Stress resistant, the more you get hit, it goes up. You flinch less, things like that. Intellect, charisma, attention, memory, and search, they all go up by looting containers, searching dead bodies, etc. Mag drills, unloading, loading mags. Recon control, the more you fire, the better recoil control you get. Things like that. The more you play the game, the higher experience you get for these things. And you've also got your current level and your experience at the top here. That being done, we will now move on to the trader system. So, traders. Within Tarkov, you have a series of traders. So if we're at our main menu, click on trading, and you can see you've got 8 different traders that you can go to and buy items from. Traders, not only do they sell you items, they give you quests. You can see here, Prapor and Therapist have a green tick here, which indicates they have a quest for you. So if we go in to have a look at Prapor, you can see here on the left hand side, he has a lot of items he has for sale. A lot of them are grayed out at the minute, so we need to examine them, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And on the right hand side, you have your stash, and all the items you can sell or sell to him are highlighted and not grayed out like the headsets here. You'll also notice up in this top left hand corner, you've got your money, how much money you've got. Most traders sell in rubles. There is others like Peacekeeper who sell in US dollars. You'll notice here that it's also got your level, your current attitude towards this trader, and your next loyalty level for that trader. So as you can see at the minute, we're current level 1. We have no rep with him, and we've spent no money with him. To get him up to the next level, you'll see here you've got different levels. That's all. Then you've got 1, 2, 3, and max. To get him up to level 2, we need to reach level 15, get a rep with him of 20, and spend 750k with him. To get the rep up, you click on his taskbar. It says here, we've got a debut task. You accept it, tells you what you need to do. We need to eliminate scavs all over the Tarkov territory, so that's on any map. And obtain and hand over MP13 12 gauge shotguns, and we're going to hand over 2 of them and kill 5 scavs. And we get rewards for that. So what you'll give us is 1700 XP, 15,000 rubles, a PP91 submachine gun, some bullets for said submachine gun. It'll allow us to purchase the AKS 74 UB and give us 0.02 rep for him and 0.01 rep for Jaeger. So you increase the rep by doing the quests. If we go back, you'll see that you've still got all these items that are unexamined. That's because we've never found them, never come across them. So there's 2 ways to examine these. There's the long way, which is you right click and click examine. You'll see it goes up and highlights it. Or you can click in your manual mouse button on it, which is a lot quicker than clicking and then clicking examine. You also notice you'll get XP for doing this, roughly 10 per item. Can be a little less, can be a little bit more. So Prapoa mainly sells Russian kind of weapons, your AKSs, your AKs, Mosins, sells a couple of bags, some armor, things like that. You'll notice that some items you could pay rubles for, or you can barter for him. So if we had 2 herrings, 2 Iskras, and 1 Iskra, we could trade for this fair helmet. Moving on to the next trader is Therapist. He mainly sells health items towards us, and again, she's got a task for us. Shortage. She wants us to find and hand over 3 Suela first aid kits. They've got to be found in raid. I mentioned this before. We'll look at it in more detail once we get into our first raid. But if you have a look on your items, just a quick back to here, you'll notice there's not a little circle with a tick in it in here. That means they're not found in raid. Whereas found in raid items, we'll have that little tick, and we'll look at it in a little bit. Going back to traders, a lot of stuff is unexamined. We do need to unexamine that, and I'll tell you why we do that in a minute. Not only does it make it easier in raid when you find a new weapon, if you've already examined that mag, you'll be able to change it. If you haven't examined that mag, you won't be able to reload it. It stops you from doing it. Vents is a different kind of trader. Vents will buy anything off you at a reduced price. He'll also buy weapons that aren't in a good enough condition to sell to the traders. Vents is rep. Now, this is where your scav rep, basically. So the higher your scav rep, the better the better weapons and starting loadouts you'll load into on your scav. To get your Vents loyalty level up, you need to complete scavs without killing other scavs. There's car extracts, there's co-op extracts. There's a few different things you need to do to get your scav that you can use to get your scav rep up. I suggest not killing other scavs as a scav, because that will knock it down and it's not good for you. As you can see, Vents sells quite a lot of stuff. A lot of it's damage because it's what PMCs are selling to him, because damage and other traders won't take them, or just because the other traders won't take them. Now, another thing you might notice is your last trader, Jaeger, he's blacked out. We need to unlock him by doing a quest. To get that quest, we need to get to level 2. The easiest way to get to level 2 without actually doing a raid is going through all the traders and examining everything. We'll do that in a second. We'll talk about Peacekeeper. I mentioned before that most of the traders sell and buy in rubles. Whereas Peacekeeper is different. He does it in US dollars, as you can see here. Peacekeeper also sells more Western weapons, your M4A1s, MPXs, MP5s, etc. Skier pretty much sells VPOs, SOSs. Doesn't have much to sell us to begin with. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly run through this, examine everything, and then we can jump into our first scav run. You'll notice that you'll get some random parts. Like we've got a site here. You can see what they go on to. We've got different things. You can interchange all your weapons. So quickly have a look at this. You can see here, we've inspected this weapon and you can see you've got different grips, different muzzles, sights, etc. All them are interchangeable, providing they could go on that weapon. Easiest way to check that is if you inspect one and you've got this little bar here that says compatible with available. Currently, we've got nothing that's compatible with, but if we had a weapon that was available with, it'll show there when you hover over that. Swalers you're looking for, they look like this. We'll keep an eye out for them when we jump into our first raid. These, they mainly help with quests, and there's also decent stuff locked behind some of these doors. So yeah, this one is the Dime 303 key. This is for the third 3-story Dimes building in Customs map. There's also extra containers you can buy that fit in your stash and gives you more storage area. This junk box is one of the first things we'll be looking to buy. It gives us all this extra space in your stash for barter items, electronics, most things really, apart from food, weapons, bullets. It is a very handy piece of kit to get, and as you can see, it only takes up about 4x4 square of your stash, but you can put a lot of stuff inside of it. If you're looking to buy something from Peacekeeper and you don't have any US dollars, as you can see in this top corner, we don't have any. We buy US dollars from Peacekeeper for 121 rubles for $1 US. That does fluctuate. Real life market affects Tarkov market, believe it or not. Mechanic, he sells and buys quite a range of weapons. As you can see, it is quite a time-consuming process, but it is good to do before you jump into your first scav. Or your first, not quite hit level 2 yet. Ragman, he majority sells your bags and armor. They also buy them off you as well if you want to sell them. We've hit level 2, but the quest hasn't shown up. 2 ways we can get to show that task up. We can either restart the game or we can do a raid. What we are going to do, we are going to do a raid. So let's jump on with our first scav run, shall we? So from the main page, if you click on escape from Tarkov, you can see now on the left hand side we have scav and we have our PMC on our right hand side. If we click next now where we've got PMC highlighted, we'll jump into a PMC raid on a chosen map that we choose in a second. The loadout we set in our character screen. Scav, we go into a raid on a map that we choose at a random time with a random loadout. The higher that scav rep we talked about for fence, better gear you will spawn in with. So we're going to click on scav, click next. Here is all the maps we can get into at the minute. Suburbs isn't available and neither is a lab to scav on. Suburbs hasn't been released yet and neither has town or terminal. Streets of Tarkov was added with this wipe. I'm still yet to play on it. My preferred scavving place is Customs, but we will be doing other scavs throughout the series on different maps. So I'm going to jump straight onto Customs. As you can see, we clicked it. We've got 2 time phases to go into. We've got one at 10 to 8 at night, one at 10 to 9 at night, and 10 to 9 in the morning. We go in at night, it's going to be dark. We're not going to be able to see much unless we put a torch or night vision goggles. We're going to go in the morning, 10 to 9 in the morning. Once you've done that, you can click next. Loads you up to this screen. If you have friends that you're playing with and you've added them, you can click on find other players. And if they're in this same lobby, you can find them here. And if you right click on them, you can invite them to group. Once they're there, you can click ready. Then we'll jump into our first scav raid.
Chicky-bricky.
You'll come up with a loading screen, take a few minutes to load you in, match you, and then we'll get on with our first scav. Hopefully, we'll be in a sec. So we have just loaded in. And first thing to talk about is where we have spawned on the map. So we have spawned at Smuggler's Boat. The reason on all that is there's a little boat here. Well, it's not here at the minute, but when Smuggler's Boat is open, there's a little boat there. But that bridge there is the bridge linking the custom side to the rest of the custom map. There's a little land bridge here, another land bridge there, and one further back. Second thing we're going to talk about is how to access your inventory while in raid. If you hit the tab button as default, it brings up what you're carrying. So we've got a couple of mags, a cheese slice, and some Vaseline. If we hover over the cheese slice and press a button between 4 and 0 on your keyboard, it'll hotbar it, as you can see. So we've nothing much on us, just a Vepper Hunter, which is a bolt action rifle, a couple of mags and finger. So another thing to notice or mention is if we press B, You can see in the bottom right corner, it comes up with single fire. If you had a weapon that had multiple rates of fire, fully automatic, semi-automatic, and single fire, you can hit B and it'll change it. X is go prone. C is crouch. Press it again to stand up. To run, press shift. You just have to press it and it'll continuously run. Press shift again to stop. The caps lock button, as you can see in this bottom right hand corner, bottom left hand corner, sorry, the sound goes up and down. You can use your mouse button as well to change it up and down. That just shows how fast or slow you are moving. That helps you make less sound as well. Coming up to here, which is sniper roadblock, and we're being shot at. It's not good for our first run. I'm going to try and do the run I normally do around here. In front of us over there was construction, which is where I think we was being shot from. There. Got ice cream hut there. We'll run across here. Bit of a safer environment. Over that way is the dorms. We're not going to hit dorms. Now, if you press O, you can see in the top right hand corner, you can see the 16 minutes and 39 seconds left in the raid. If you double tap it, it brings the time up and our extraction point. So our extraction points are military CP, trailer park workers shack and scav checkpoint. We'll go to them shortly as we thing it. So the first thing I like to do, depending on where I spawn, is come to this little dead body here. This guy's always here. He's a bit exposed. If you go up to him and press F, you can see we start looting him. Remember, middle button to examine. TP is good to get early on because that's for your hideout. Now, items sell for random amounts of money. Well, certain amounts of money, not random. As you play the game, you'll get to know what's worth more, what's not, what you need, what you don't need. Moving along through the middle of the map. Somebody with a silenced weapon behind us somewhere. Probably a PMC. So we'll try and avoid him if we can for now. Secret little stash in here. We'll take the fleece because we need that for something in the hideout. Nice little Vaseline. Red. I'm going to drop the bandana because the Chimera is worth more. Carrying on. This is what we call the bus depot here on our left. Somebody just running in front of us. That looks like a scav. I hope it's a scav. He's not looking. It's a scav. You can tell by the voice line. If you want a voice line, press F1. But while you're doing a run as a scav, you don't really want to be shooting other scavs. You get less rep. Everybody on the map is then hunting you. That sells for a bit of money, around 10k rubles. We'll take that for now. Moving on. Hitting another stash which is hidden at the back here. Well, this run I'm doing now is the one I generally like to do while I'm doing my scav runs on customs. Chain letting fire clean, sell for an alright set amount of money. Moving on now, coming up to what we call train tracks near New Gas. We are staying over the left hand side of the map, or the north of the map. There is bits over there like Old Gas. So this in front of us is what's called New Gas. Charlotte, the scav boss for custom spawn on there. I'm going to avoid that for a bit and head up here to this scav. This stash, sorry. Somebody's already done this, you can tell that because there's a gap there. Chlorine, some food and drink. We'll take the glasses and we'll take the chlorine for now. Leave the drink, we don't really need it at the minute. Moving on now, if we head up to the back of them trains, that is the railroad to the military base extract. I'm going to come parallel to New Gas, hit this little stash here. which is empty. So we'll leave that now. And if we head up this hill in front of us, we'll come to a place we call a Ray, where you can get some weapons. There's a med box. There's also a stash up here. First thing we're going to hit is underneath here. There is a weapons cache, or weapons box. There's nothing useful really in there. I like to check on top of here. Sometimes you can find some decent ammo just out loose on top. Checking here for this med box. Nothing in it. It looks like it's been done up here, to be honest. Next, you can get some loose items on here, as we can see. Take that. We've got some sharp tin ammo. Toolbox here. Nuts, we'll take them. What do we want to get rid of? Another thing to quickly check is Alt-T. You check your mag, tells you how many bullets you've got left in it and what ammo it is. We've got pretty crappy ammo, so I'm going to drop that and take these nuts because they're needed in the hideout. Next thing to check is this little weapons box here. That is a very nice suppressor, so we'll take that. There is another weapons crate over there. In fact, we'll go and have a look at it. Out the back here somewhere. Between here, I think. Yeah, here we go. What have we got in here? Got an RPK-16. The face shield. We've got nothing to put it onto at the minute. And an MB1B. Decent weapons parts. Do we want to get rid of anything for it? We'll take that and that. We'll take the trooper, but likelihood of us getting a helmet's going to fit onto is not very high at the minute. If we head directly back to the edge of the map from where we just were at Array, we'll come to the back of the map. You can see by this fence. That bit there is the passage between rocks extract, but we're not bothered about that at the minute. What we want to hit is this here, this little stash, which has been hit. Hopefully left us some capacitors. We're not going to take them, we'll leave them for now. Running back, I did miss a stash. So the thin weapons box we looked at the back of the truck, on the blue wall at the side of it, in this little bush here, there's another stash, so we'll hit that. Whenever 10 minutes is left, it'll come up in the corner there and let you know. So there's another hat, we'll leave that hat. Head directly down here from that stash and we should hit another one on this tree. Yep, there we go. Hunting matches, light bulb and slim diary. The slim diary's worth a bit, worth more than the chain. We'll get rid of them for, I think the hunting matches are needed for one of the hideout upgrades, so we'll take that. Light bulbs are needed, but I think the hunting matches are needed before them. Heading this way from that one, we'll get to a little checkpoint here. Now we can actually get out at this checkpoint here. If we go to them bins there, there's actual extracts. If you have a look, we will run into it. You can see we're extracting in 7 seconds. We don't want to do that in a minute. We're going to check the other side of these bins. And check this. Nothing in it. In front of us is the sniper checkpoint. A sniper scav sits on top of there. I think we can just about see him there. We're not going to take a shot at him. We're going to leave him up. We're going to run towards him. And then veer left slightly down here. As you can see, as I'm running, I stopped running because the bottom left-hand corner, you can see that blue bar slowly going up. That is our Stamina, it runs out as we run. If we aim in, you'll see the bar, the lighter blue bar just above it. Goes down as well. That's your arm stamina. I think I heard somebody to my left then. Nobody's took a shot, so I'm suspecting it's a scav. We heard a scav there. I should have gone the other way, because one thing I want to do is to check the back of that car. Because you can get swirler spawns in there. You can duck through here. We're going to get hurt by this barbed wire. We're not. Oh, no, there we go. We got hurt by that barbed wire. Our leg caught it. See a scav there. Don't shoot him unless he shoots at you. We'll leave them an algae. They're not very good. Them scavs are talking to each other. We'll jump in here. This building in front of us, we call green screen. Dead scav. We might as well loot this guy while we're here. AK-74M. We're going to take that use Shanker because needed for a quest a bit later on. We've got a rig, scav vest. We'll leave that scav vest. We've got a scav backpack, so what we're going to do is we're going to take that because they're good. We're going to dump that in here. Oh, small Tashunka and a golden star bomb. That is one of the best painkillers I've found. Check that mag. You can unload the ammo in the mag to check what he's got. It's pretty crap, so we'll dump that. Take the face mask because we need that, and we'll take the knives because they sell for a bit of money. Well, there we go. We've upgraded our bag off him. Pretty decent. Right, so this building here is green screen room. The reason why we call that green screen room because in that room there's a green screen. It's got a few computers. Decent bits to loot. Around the back here you can get loose loot on these shelves. Looks like it's been absolutely hammered. So me going upstairs probably not going to help. But let's do it anyway just to show you. Couple of computers. Some stuff spawns there. There's a back room here with a bag. Jackets. 45 round mag, that's pretty decent. What ammo has it got in it? Not decent ammo, so we'll get rid of that. Take up space we don't need. Jackets, always try and search your jackets. You can get keys. Somebody's already looted this and put some things in. So we're going to run out. There's another jacket in there and a loose spawn on the floor. Nothing there. We'll take that measuring tape because we need that for one of our loadout, one of our hideout upgrades. Med back here. They've left something for us. Decent ammo for a UMP. Take that. That tells me most of this has been done, so we're going to move on. There's a little bag there as well. Straight across, there's a room called the mannequin room. We'll go in there because you can get decent loose spawns at the back of the mannequin. In this room here, there's loose spawns on here. You can get gold chains and other things. Jackets. Water rations. Loose spawns are on the floor. Rubles. Getting a bit shot. You get loose spawns on the sides here, and there's a weapon crate there. Have a quick. We're going to take that Ishgra. Found in raid. We need one of them for Jaeger's quest when we unlock him. The mannequin room I talked about is in the back here. You can get loose ammo spawns and health spawns on there. Sometimes two space spawns on the floor in there. Always come in this room if you can. Check his arms. There's a roller watch that spawns on there, and then loose spawns on the ground here. You can get other spawns on here. Ammo. It's not the best ammo, so we'll leave that. Drop down these stairs. There is other places we can loot up the back there, but I think we've done enough for now. It's a good first run. Spacebar's jump, by the way. So we're going to head. You get admin extract. Near that gate is admin extract. There is a stash at the side of it. This is scav checkpoint extract next to that vehicle. And factory fire corner is up in the top there. Skev extracts are not always the same as PMC extracts. So we're going to get out here. Try not to stay still in the extract because you never know, you might get sniped. So there we go. We've done our first scav. And we got out successfully with some decent stuff. XP doesn't go towards your PM XP, it's completely separate. Scav and PMC XP is separate. We've got no kills. So if we hit next now, we'd lose all that stuff. What we need to do is drag it all across, or control and left click, and it automatically moves it into your inventory. We'll take everything out. Happy days, that's all in the inventories now. Next. Bit of a breakdown. So as you can see now, standing fence reputation for exfil has gone up to 0.01, and overall standing change has gone up 0.01. If we killed a PMC, I think you get 0.3. Doing stuff as a scav goes up. You kill a scav, it'll go down. And then a breakdown of what we've done in there. We travelled 1.9 kilometers. We found some rubles. We looted a body. We found a weapon. We found some mods. We found some provisions, some barter goods, and equipment. Happy days. That should have now give us the mechanic quest to unlock Jaeger and Weaponsmith Part 1. Once the screen loads up, we'll check that. Go to traders. As you can see, he's got a tick now. So we go to the tasks, and we've got Gunsmith Part 1. We accept that. What you've got to do for that is set up a MP133 to certain standard. As you can see, it lists it, but I've got a website I'll show you shortly that'll show you exactly what you need to do that. And then that gives you an introduction quest, which then makes you go, which gives you the opportunity to go find Jaeger, which is what we're going to do on our PMC run. So unfortunately, when I first recorded this bit, for some reason the sound wasn't working. Managed to fix that now, so it's good to go in with a clear objective mind. Ours is to find Jaeger's little letter and extract where to find that. It's good to use the Tarkov wiki. What it does is it lists all the tasks for you. But if you go to systems, quests, you can see down here it's got all your traders. Click on them and it lists them at the bottom. Ours is mechanic and it's introduction test, quest, not test. You can see here, this is what we need to find. It's located there, which is just below the plane on the woods raid. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into that now and see what we can do. Right, so we're about to load in. It's good to go in with a game plan in mind. Our game plan here is to find Jaeger's message and extract where. If we get the chance to kill a couple of scavs, we're going to. And if we spawn near the forward operating base, we're probably going to nip to there and see if we can find some of them swalers as well for their tasks. Let's go. Raining. We don't like the rain. Spawned in. So unfortunately, for some reason we had a crash. Not sure what went on, but because we're in the raid, we can jump straight back into the raid. Hopefully we won't have died. We'll be a bit behind. Hopefully it'll load us in quick. Should be good. Spawned us back in. Right, so we are up near the village. This is the little sawmill area. We'll run down here. We're straight away in trouble. And that's Tarkov. Welcome. We're going to heal here. So that was a catalogue of errors, really. We crashed, had to spawn back in, and I had a feeling somebody could have been down there at the stash. I really shouldn't have run that way. But it is what it is. We've lost everything there. He's probably going to pick it all up, so we need to go back in, really. So stick a backpack on, stick our AK back in. Do we have a rig? We're not going to go in with the big rig, actually. We're going to go in with this little one. Take all this stuff out of it. Are we going for that VPO? Oh, we'll go in like this. Stick a packer on, stick a headset on. What do we need to do now? Some health materials. Right, we got some bandages. Extra mags. Got in it. It'll have to do. A couple of extra mags. Not going to go in with a helmet this time. So we'll try again, shall we? So just before we go into this next raid, I've just noticed that Propo and Mechanical Therapist have sent us some messages. It looks like Propo has sent us something. So let's click on get, and he's sent us a grenade and some ammo. Very nice of us. That's probably because we died. Mechanic, that's just from accepting the quests, and I think that's the same from Finger. So we're good there. We shall jump into the next thing. So we're loading back in. Hopefully we'll get a decent spawn and not crash this time. And we'll try and get Jaeger's message. Get to Jaeger's message and get out without dying, hopefully. Where have we spawned? Spawned at near outskirts. So we need to head this way. Isn't going to board very well, so we're going to be crossing across past the sawmill. Potentially PMCs that are heading over this way. Buy some Vaseline. One thing I've just realised I forgot is food and drink. Painkiller up in case we do get shot at. This is the sawmill. We want to be heading in that direction. There's a high chance that players are going to be coming across here from over there. Already firing to our left. Keeping an eye out for the top of this hill and over there. Got fire rate, we're in full auto. Get some stam up. We'll leg it through these trees. Probably not going to head to the fob today. Don't want to risk running into players just yet. Trying to keep some cover on this tree line as we head round. That sounds like it's in front of us. Head slightly this way. There's the plane. Sounded like it was behind us. I'm not sure if it was towards us or not. But what we're going to do is we're going to quickly run to this little cabin here. Pick up that. And run off this way. Get some extracts. We do have ZB16, so potentially could head out. We don't want it to be a run through. Hoping that guy behind us isn't following. Don't think it was towards us, that shot. But I'd rather not risk it. So to get out and it not be a run through, you need to get over 700 XP or be in the raid 7 minutes. Keeping an eye on these tree lines, listening out for any sounds. If I head up top of here and then head right, we should be at the place where we just died in the previous raid. having a scout, see if we can see any movement. Listen for any noises. I think we're good. Slowly sneak down this cliff face. I think that was just a tree I seen then. Nope, I can hear someone. Yo, dude. Be nice. My first raid. I'm just trying to get out with Jaeger's message.
No problem, mate. I will support you.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that. You too. See, sometimes it is good to pop a VoIP out. Some people are nice. Some people just want to see the world burn and will shoot you. We'll loot up a bit, see if we can get that XP. We've got the food and drink. Put in the double bag. I think we've been in about 5 minutes now. Tend to pick pretty much everything up early raid. Early white. We've got here, we've got another rig. Don't need it, but we'll take it to sell it. So that's where we're going to head. I think that's UN Northern Roadblock. We died just down there before in that last raid. I'm just checking for some more items we can probably pick up. Waste that 7 minutes. Technical supply crate. Can fill that rig up. I think that guy's been here and done all this. We'll take that. That's the hand drill. We need that for one of the stash upgrades. I didn't want to take that. I just wanted to examine it. But it all sells at the minute, so we might as well take it all. Don't want to be here longer than I need to be. Nothing on them shelves. Just check this side. Oh, we had a weapon then. Nice grip. We'll take that lot. I don't think there's anything else in here, so we'll head down. Check the shelves on the way out. Have a quick peek. Let's see, we seem to be alright, so make a move. That guy has been nice and he's not waiting for us to head down here. Seems to be alright. There is a dash and a weapons crate here. But we are getting out. Might be able to quickly get some out of it. I think I missed that last one. Oh, there we go. Managed to get out. Nearly 10 minutes in raid. Not much XP, but At least we didn't die this time. Didn't get no scav kills because we didn't really see anyone. We spotted that PMC, asked him nicely to leave us alone, and he did. Very nice of him. Don't need to heal. So we'll go and get Jaeger in a second once it loads in. Here we go. We hit not character traders. Go to Ragman, click on the task. Go to the introduction one. Turn in. Happy days, that's done. Click complete and you get your stuff. We hit back now, you can see Jaeger's not grayed out anymore and he does have a task for us. So we'll accept that, and what he wants us to do is hand in 3 Ishka ration packs found in raid, find some Amelia rare croutons in raid, and 2 cans of beef stew. So the last thing we need to do for Jaeger for today is actually buy the MP133 shotguns that we need to hand into Prapor. You can buy these from Jaeger if I find them. There they are. Now, early white, they are sold out. You have to be quick to get them, but we're all right there. We managed to get them. So if we go to Prapor now, to tasks, you can see we could turn these to 133s in. Happy days. Yeah, so we're quite good there. Got out with some gear, not that we need it. Our stash is already looking pretty full, but we've got some stuff to sell, stuff we need to keep. So I think that's going to probably do it for this first episode. If you stuck around this long, I appreciate you. If you wouldn't mind commenting if you enjoyed it, or if you didn't enjoy it, if there's anything I need to work on, I'd appreciate the feedback. It'd be great. But yeah, if you could like and comment, and if you liked it that much, you could subscribe for me. That'd be great. In the next episode, we'll start hunting them swalers and scavs down, and then a few bits for Jaeger. But until then, love you fools. Catch you later.